Hi guys and welcome. Today we're going to be looking at how to paint terrain, and specifically we're going to be painting a terrain piece from Spellcrow called Menhir, which is this lovely little piece. Now yes, it's very simple and easily done, but it looks on fundamentals of when you're going to be painting terrain and what you need to learn when you first start. So you're going to be looking at how to do stone, vine work and grass and all that sort of thing to incorporate it to look really good when it's on the table. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the camera and I'm going to show you the basic steps of taking it from a purely grey primed piece of resin all the way up to the finishing touches, and you'll see it going through highlighting stages and dry brushing. So I'll see you in a minute. So then, here's the priming. So I've used a grey primer. What you can use is a colour called Necromancer Cloak, which is close to it. But really, it doesn't really depend. Just as long as you got like a grey solid mid to dark tone at the beginning. Your first stage after this is going to be your wash stage. So for this I'm going to use Army Painter's dark tone, which is basically a very dark, so like Agrax earth shade, but any like a brown shade. What you're going to do is you're going to pretty much get it all over the miniature, make sure it's getting into all the normal cracks, all that sort of stuff. Now you're going to see a lot of Army Painter stuff in this video and in the next couple of videos, because where I'm going to be doing a more incorporative review on them. So now that that's all shaded, your next colour will be Uniform Grey. Now the Uniform Grey is we're going to dry brush this and we're going to get it so you can see kind of most of the peaks. I know this is going to be the process for the stone as well. So now what we're going to do is you're going to work away, get it so you got like depths of colour and stuff. So as you can see, we're just dry brushing on that Uniform Grey to get to a nice piece. Now Ash Grey is next. Ash Grey is the same kind of thing as Uniform Grey. What we're doing is we're mainly focusing on the higher points that we can see. So now because we're focusing on that higher point, we've got more of a focal area and you've got that more light bouncing on it as well. So it makes it so it stands out a bit more. So as you can see, it's just picking out certain areas and all that, making sure that you've got every single peak on the miniature. Next colour is going to be Mummy Robes. Now this is basically kind of an off-white colour. Now with this we're just hitting up all those peaks yet again, but now we're only hitting the extreme of the peaks. So we're going to pick out the ones that are the most outwards and the ones that are the most upwards. So you're looking at the top and the ones that are coming out more jagged to the sides or anything like that. Now like I said, you can incorporate this into any piece of terrain and it's going to be the same kind of principle. Anything that's the highest or the pit you want to add that focal point to. So you go finishing it off, and that's, you know, it adds a nice effect. Next colour is going to be Green Skin. Now, this is where we're going to start working on the vine work. Green Skin is, in all honesty, pretty much a basic green to start with. It's a nice kind of generic green is the only way to put it. So now, it's basically sure that we're just going to coat it over, get every single thing. Try not to hit that grey area because we don't have to go back over and have to re-mend what we've already done. So it's just making sure that we don't make any mistakes at this point. It may take a bit longer if you know you're trying to be more neater, but honestly it gives you a better result. Next colour is going to be Angel Green, sorry. So Angel Green is for one simple reason. There's a little part of moss underneath the bottom end of the menhir resin piece. So what this Green Angel is for is just to literally get into that moss, and we're going to give it more of a different colorization to the greens, but we want to incorporate a very, very green structure into the piece itself. So that's going to be added to the, you know, for the base of the moss itself. And at a later point we're going to shade that down so it's given a more dirty overtone. So, our next piece is going to be Quartz Shader, or our next wash. Quartz Shader is basically a green wash, so if you use any kind of green washes, it'll do the same job. Now this is just to add depth to that vine work. Now, you don't want to be using it on the moss, and you'll see why in a minute. Your next colour is going to be for the strong tone, which is going to be your brown and stuff like that. Now that brown is going to be for the moss. Now, I said earlier that dark tone was the brown. It's not, it's the black one. This one's the brown one. You know, I'm used to brown and black being different names. But yeah, strong tone on this dark green. It adds that kind of dirt tone underneath, so you get more of a mossy look to it. Next one's going to be Goblin Green. Now, Goblin Green is, now we're going to start working on that vine, and we're going to make it pop a lot more. So Goblin Green is going to be your first highlight for this piece. Now, for this, you're going to get everything. You're going to leave nothing left for that vine. You're going to hit every single part of it. There's nothing to be selective here. It's making sure you get the top edges of it. Now, this jungle green is a beautiful color to work with. It's a very, very vibrant green. And it works perfectly for stuff like this. Especially, this is for a fantasy piece. It's making the vine work stand out hugely. Now, when we're putting this down, we're only aiming for certain spots. We're not hitting the leaf with this. We're literally hitting the vine itself. Now, with scaly hide is what we're using here. This is going to be used for the leaves. Now, if you look at typical ivy and like kind of vines and all that sort of thing, their leaves have a white pattern inside of them. Well, like on some sort of it. So like usually at the edges or in the middle. This, as you can see, it was going for the edges. And there you have the finished menhir. So there you have it, guys. That's how easy it can be to paint up a piece of terrain. Now, there's obviously different things you could have done with this piece. You could have tried OSL, you could have done inlay colors and all that sort of thing to really make it pop. But this is looking at its basic form and how to do it simple and easy. Really a quick turnover. In all honesty, once the drying phase was, taken out, this purely took about 10 to 15 minutes. Now, for that to be a terrain piece that you can just, get out there perfectly, and it does look amazing. Because of the highlighting phases, it really heightens up that piece of vine work and all that, and it really does stand out. But like I said, you can use this in any kind of terrain piece, as long as it's following the, two basics of stone and grass or vine work, any kind of green, organic kind of piecing. So, I hope that was of use to you. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, make sure you hit the notification bell as well. So whenever I upload a video, you'll be one of the first to know. And until next time, see you.